Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tips and Tricks Tuesdays with me, Valentina Vee. Hopefully, you can see me and hear me. If you can, just let me know in the chat room where you are watching from. I am also watching you here on my iPad. So if you have any questions or anything like that, as we go through our interview today or our lesson, let me know and I'll be sure to answer them right away. You can go to this website, adobe.ly/tipstuesday. And that's where you can get all of the information about today's stream, meaning I created a full manual for you to take a look at and for you to learn how to shoot and edit videos on your phone. And that manual is fully available right there at adobe.ly/tipstuesday. You'll also see that sometimes the lighting changes on my face. That's because I'm opening and closing different windows on my computer. It happens. Unfortunately, every window just looks different. That's what computers do. But in the meantime, before we get to our demo, our tutorial, I want to introduce a very special guest. Her name is Jessica Neistadt. She has a YouTube channel. She has an Instagram. She's all over social media, TikTok. Hey, if it's social, she knows it, which is why I'm so happy to have her here. Hi, Jessica.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have you here. Today has been a big day in digital camera land. For me personally, Sony just released their new A7S III camera, so I'm a little bit hype. It's either that or the energy drink, but
It's a combination of the both.
it's two or one of the things. But I'm so happy to have you. First of all, it's so nice to meet you. I don't
Yes.
know if you feel this way, but I feel like we're friendly already.
I
Even though
feel
we
like
just met.
we kind of have I feel like I've known you for a long time. There's a vibe.
Yeah, me too. So you, for those who don't know, could you explain a little bit about what kind of things that you do on your YouTube channel and how long you've been on YouTube?
So I have been doing YouTube collectively for since 2008, so 12 years. But with
Wow.
the channel I have now, about 7 years. And on my channel, it has changed a lot over the years. I went from like comedy and skits and kind of like copying what everybody else was doing back in the day. And then I would say in the last like 4 to 5 years, I've really found what I'm passionate about, which is now fashion, lifestyle, and female empowerment. I really like my channel to be a space where someone can come and find inspiration to just help them feel confident both inside and out, whether that's through tips literally for confidence or outfit ideas or um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of another example
Yeah.
of how to edit photos, different things that just help people be the best versions of themselves.
I didn't know that you were that OG. Like back in
Oh,
the day,
back
12
in the day.
years doing skits. I mean, so would you say that your evolution as a creator has really gone more towards authenticity of you as a person, of you finding yourself, and
Oh,
then that helped you find what you want to make?
Oh, 100%. Because not even I think, I know for a fact that when I first started YouTube, it was because I thought it was just a cool thing and I wanted to be like the creators that I saw or that I watched. And it was really neat. And back then it was really just like, oh, I was posting a video. It wasn't like I was making a video. So as I started to realize, like, wow, this is really something I enjoy so much. I have a lot of fun with it. It's kind of fun to be so creative. And it was a something that wasn't a thing yet. There weren't YouTubers, there weren't people who like edited. It was just like you make a video. So as I started to explore YouTube more and more, I realized like all of the stuff I was making, some of it I was having fun with, but a lot of it was just because I didn't know what I was actually passionate about. So really exploring the things that brought me joy, that resonated with me, I think not only helped me figure out what the kind of content that I was passionate about, but also what my passions were in the first place.
Yeah, I think a lot of creators, especially recently, have been talking about burnout and not feeling inspired and not feeling like they have a voice. And one of the things that I always recommend is if you're feeling that way, then you're no longer getting joy out of what you're making. What you're making has become a chore for you. And I mean, it's supposed to be fun. Like,
Yeah,
it's supposed to make people feel good. And if you are no longer feeling good, then how do you expect your viewers to feel good too? Right.
100%. I totally.
So, yeah. So I think your content is really great. One of the things that I feel like a lot of people may not know about me is that I shot and edited for the Michelle Phan YouTube channel for several years. OG classic makeup YouTuber, makeup and fashion and lifestyle and beauty and all that. And one of my like absolute musts was the production quality. Like the production quality has to be fantastic because this is a crowded space, the lifestyle space,
Mm-hmm.
and getting ever more crowded every day. And you have to make yourself stand out. You know, no longer is just a personality the only requirement. You could have the best, most fun personality, but if you don't know how to edit, if you're shooting on a potato, then it's gonna look that way, right? So one of the things I admire about your channel is how high the production quality is. So what would you say led you to, your level of production quality that you have right now?
First of all, I really appreciate all that nice stuff. Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
really, I really try to put so much into my videos because I think as after I found my voice of what I like to make, I realized just how saturated the space is. There are so many people creating, and that's so amazing. But I started to realize that my stuff couldn't stand out unless I figured out a way to make it stand out. So I really started diving more into, oh, what if I upgrade my audio quality? I think audio is one of the most
Yes.
overlooked, most important things. I mean, always look it like make sure you have good audio. That is like thing number one.
What is
And
your audio right now? Like, what do you use for audio?
so the audio that so when I'm vlogging, I use this guy, this
Is
little,
that a Rode?
yes, it is. It is the Video Micro. Is that what it's called? I don't know. This one I
Nice.
use for vlogging. When I'm filming sit down videos, I use an H1. It's just like a little shotgun mic. And then when I'm doing something like this, like a live stream setup, I'm just using a Yeti microphone,
Yeah.
nothing too crazy. So you can still have really good audio with more affordable options. All of these are pretty affordable. They're definitely like more of an investment if you're just starting new from scratch. But I think it's a very worthwhile investment because you can forgive bad video quality. You can
Yes.
forgive, things looking a little grainy or being shot at night or being in low light, whatever. But if you have bad audio, it really takes a viewer out of the experience and it kind of can disjoint them and make them be like, I don't like this. My ears feel itchy. I'm going to leave. So it's
100%.
one way you can really lose a viewer. So really considering all of these things, like what makes a good video. So I started considering, okay, I want my audio to be great. I want the quality of my videos to be good. So I started learning about lenses and trying to figure out, okay, how can I step up my video quality? But then the number one thing that I ended up turning to really stand myself out was editing. I noticed so many people just kind of put stuff together, posted it, and I did that for so long. And I was like, you know what? There needs to be more to it. So I started adding in motion graphics and GIFs and lower thirds and started getting creative with transitions, with, I don't know, layering things in an interesting way, backgrounds. And people were like, holy cannoli, this is great. How are you doing this? And it's crazy because it's all the most simple things, but it's taking that effort to add those simple things in that makes the world of difference.
Yeah, it's like you were playing chess before and now you're playing like 4D chess. You're just
Oh,
like
yes.
extra. And I think the thing that people don't really realize about editing and motion graphics and transitions and all the things you said is it's not hard. Like, it's
Yeah.
not hard to learn, and you can do it on your phone. You don't need a computer even. You don't need anything super fancy. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today, actually, the only thing we're going to talk about today later is Adobe Premiere Rush, I should say. If you go to this link right here, adobe.ly/tips Tuesday, you'll be able to see my full manual that I created, how to use Adobe Premiere Rush, and I will cover it in 45 minutes. So literally all you need is 45 minutes and you can learn how to do these things. You can learn how to edit. You can improve your production quality so much. Jessica, what do you use Rush for? What are like your favorite things to use Rush for?
So I would say my go-to for Rush is any sort of short form content. So if it's for Instagram stories, if it's for Instagram, if it's for Twitter, or if it's for TikTok, I think Rush is amazing for TikTok because it's perfect. There's the vertical, it's just amazing. So I really like creating.
Also, you can now do vertical on YouTube. Just sliding that in there.
There you go. Vertical video. That's where it's at. I've actually, IGTV, that is my other one. I have been doing this series on my IGTV that I started a while ago. It's on pause because of the move I just did, but it's called Friday Favorites. And it's basically kind of like a paralleling the OG favorite videos that everybody used to do on YouTube. And it's where I share all of these favorite things. And for me, because it's a vertical video, it's too much to just shoot or to edit on my computer. It's so much easier to just edit it, shoot it, edit it on my phone. It's quick, it's easy. So that's the kind of content I make on Rush because it's so simple, it's intuitive, and it can be like really quick. You're going to be on your phone, you're going to be posting it from your phone anyways. Might as well edit it there too and streamline the process.
Oh, another thing that's one of my favorite features is I'm always screen recording things on my phone.
Yes.
And it's just easy, right? You just screen record it on your phone and then you already have the video on your phone. And whether it's for a TikTok where I'm taking the sound of a TikTok and I want to edit it and then put it back into TikTok, or if it's like a social cut of a YouTube video and I want to just quickly recut it, reframe it, nothing fancy. Maybe I'm not even at my computer. Like I'm somewhere else, like I'm at a bus stop and a video that I made has just gone up. And I'm like, oh, I really want to share it to Instagram, but it's 30 seconds long, this intro. Let me cut it down to make it, 10 seconds long and put on my stories. It's so easy. And I'm constantly doing that. And people are always like, whoa, that's so cool. I'm like, it's literally the easiest thing ever.
Yeah. Totally.
So, what about like the features inside of Rush that you like the actual features that you can use inside of the app?
So I really, really like the speed feature. So there's like ramping, which is really nice because it makes the process so easy. So it's a very smooth transition. So I really like those anytime I film a time lapse. I'm currently doing a whole makeover on my office and I'm filming like a short version for Instagram as well as TikTok that will drive people to my whole video, but I'm making like a social cut of it. So having that to just like record in the corner as I'm time lapsing things and then I can just speed it up is really nice. I also love the motion graphic templates because those add just such a personal touch, a flair to your piece. And people are always like, whoa, wait, how did you do that? How does that look so cool? And they think you did some like complex process.
What I wanted to say to you was thank you for being here on the live stream. I really appreciate your insight. It was great to chat. And also in this day world of quarantine where I'm not making any new friends, I'm not meeting any new people, I'm not stepping outside my house, it feels good to make a new friend.
Yes.
Make a new acquaintance. So thank you so much.
I feel like we just hung out. Thank you for having me again. This was really, really nice. And I'm excited to watch the rest of the live stream.
Yeah, hop in, see me, do on my phone. If people want to find you and watch your content and follow you, what are the best places they can do that? Shout out your links, No judgment. Go for it. All the links.
You guys can find me on YouTube, Jessica Neistadt. Everything is just under my name. So if you search Jessica Neistadt on Twitter, Instagram, I don't use Facebook, but like YouTube, TikTok, you guys can find me at Jessica Neistadt. You also can find me at jessicaneistadt.com. It's my website. Yeah. Okay. That's
All
me.
of the things.
All of the
All of
things.
the places and all of the things. Well, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I had a great time, and I'll see you around the interwebs.
Yes. See ya.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica, for joining me. That was such a nice chat. It was so sweet. And again, if you would like to learn more about Adobe Rush and really understand what it's all about, you can go to adobe.ly/tipstuesday. And that is going to give you all of the info that you need for the upcoming tutorial. You can even download it right now and follow along with me as I teach you cool new things. All right, is everybody ready? Let's go. All right, so you can see me and you can see my phone. I am mirroring it to the screen here, so hopefully you can see everything. I'm going to record using Rush's camera. And what's great about the camera inside of Adobe Premiere Rush is that you can record on it with professional settings. So it's not the default camera that's on your iPhone that's going to, have autofocus and like constantly be searching for focus, or always be like a low quality 1080. You can select what you want in it, and it gives you a lot of freedom. So let's go onto here, and to access the camera, so this is just the main screen of Adobe Premiere Rush. So when I go into Rush, this is just what it shows. And as you can see, I use Rush quite a lot. And no, it's not just because I teach Rush, it's because I literally use it all the time. So I'll go here and I'll say take video or photo. It's just at the bottom here, and this pulls up the Rush camera, so you can see what I'm looking at. There you are. There is my screen with all of the controls. Here's the absolute nonsense going on in my room right now, and here's my other monitor. Here's my lighting, and look at that. There's me. So let's look at these settings here. Right now at the bottom left, I am on auto. So if I go onto pro, now it gives me a lot of interesting settings that I can choose from. The first one is, what do I want my frame size to be? So if I go up here to the bottom left, it says, what do you want your resolution and your frame rate to be? I want it to be 4K. And I want it to be 24 frames per second. This will give me the largest image possible with my camera, and it'll give me a cinematic frame rate. I can also choose an exposure bias. I can also, right now it's on auto exposure, but I can select exactly what I want as far as the ISO and the shutter. The shutter is a little bit low right now. Let me take it to 1/50, which is standard. 1/53 is fine. The ISO. So, and a little bit of that exposure. Now, I can also go ahead and move this circle around the screen. And as I move it, it's going to, wherever I point it, that is where the exposure is locked. So if I go to like the light part of the screen, that's the exposure there. If I go to the dark part of the screen, like on the camera lens, it changes exposure. And if I want to lock it, I just click on it. And now it is locked. It has that blue circle with the lock in it. Same thing with the focus. So if I had, let's say I have this is like my phone case. I can go ahead and change the focus on the phone case or on the back, and then I can lock it as well. Another cool feature that you can do is you can have the grid lines up. So here at the top right, I have my grid lines up. So these will help you line things up, either center things or line things up on the 1/3 line. So if I move back, for example, this can be lined up on the 1/3 line. I can also turn my flash all the way on, so it's continuously on as I'm recording if I want that. And I can switch, because this is an iPhone XS, it has two lenses. So I can switch to that zoom lens if I want. And with the zoom lens, it's going to give me the ability to have that zoomed in image without losing any resolution, without artificially zooming in. You can artificially zoom in if you want, but that's going to lose resolution. So instead, I use the 2x feature. So let's actually record something with this. I have everything kind of where I want it. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to make it line it up for me. Okay, I'm going to move my mic out of the way for a second, and I'm going to record the second half of a video. So let me make sure that it's that I can see the record button. There we go. Now we're recording. I'm going to flip this back up. Okay. And that's what it looks like. Cool. So that was the first take. I'll do another one. And I'll do a third one. Okay, awesome. So I will stop the recording. And now you can see at the bottom right here, it has created a little checkbox and it says 1 on it, which means that the one clip has been recorded. So I'll go ahead and select that clip and import it into my project. So now here is my clip right here. Let me import the other clips. So maybe you've recorded other clips on your phone as well. And if you want to import them, all you do is press the little plus button on the bottom left. And here you can add voiceover if you want. You can add other media, titles, or you can also capture more if you want. So I'm going to go to media and I'm going to go into my camera roll and select the before clip. And I'm also going to select the music. So this is the before clip and this is the music. Now, every time I select a clip, it gives me a number, and that number is the order in which the clips will go into my timeline. For right now, it doesn't really matter the order that these clips are going in, but I'll just add them. There we go. So this is my before clip and this is my after clip. Obviously, I have to have my before clip before my after clip, so I'll just hold on it and drag it in front, and it automatically ripples. So now I will mute both clips because I don't need the audio. So I'll go down here to the controls and I'll go to the audio controls and I'll just say mute clip. I'll go to this next one as well and I'll just say mute clip. And then I will choose a frame over which my hand is kind of covering my face. I can go frame by frame by clicking on these right and left buttons on the side. So I'll go like right here and I'll go back to the menu and I'll just click on the little scissor icon. The scissor icon will cut that there and I can delete everything after it. Now I can go to this section and select where my hand is just past my face. Click that and delete everything in front of it. So now this transition looks like this. Maybe I need a little bit more because it didn't show my hand at all here in the front. So all I do is I hold the end of the clip and I drag it out until I see what I want. There it is. Let's see. Let me trim it exactly to where I want it to be. Something like that. Wow, what a change. What some lighting and makeup can do. It's crazy. All right. So now that I have that, remember in my interview with Jessica, I mentioned that one of the things I love to do is to just screen record directly from my phone. Well, I screen recorded this video from TikTok because it has a sound that I want to use. So I'm going to go to wherever the beginning of that sound is, and I know because I can watch the video and see It's right where the video starts, and I can go to that exact frame. So I can cut that, delete it, and then I can go to the end of where that TikTok video ends, which is where it begins again, because TikTok videos loop, and then I can cut the end off there. And now what you'll see is it has this little video, right? I don't want the video. So I can do a couple of different things. I can either just drag my clips on top of the video clip, therefore hiding the video clip entirely. So I can drag both of them on top on a second layer, or I can just get rid of the video clip and only leave the audio. So let me do that instead. So I'm just going to hold down, firm press it. And here there's options to either expand the audio or separate the audio. Expanding the audio will show you the audio on its own little separate, it's not a separate track, it's just underneath it. So if you expand the tracks by going to the bottom left, there's a track expansion button so you can actually see the tracks. You can see here on the bottom, those are the audio tracks, and on the top are the videos. So this audio is still attached to the video. So if I hold it down and I go separate audio, now it's separated that audio. It's added that audio underneath as a separate little audio piece. So now I can delete the video. Right now it's linked, right? So if I try to delete it, I go all the way to the right with the trash icon. I try to delete it, it gets rid of the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the audio layer. That way it isn't touched. And now I can delete the video. So only the audio layer is left. So I'll take this audio, I'll drag it over, and I'll cut that video layer off. So now I have the full, I'm not going to play you the audio because I'm pretty sure the audio is copyrighted, but this is what it looks like in the end. Look at me, I put up big on. Wow! Look at me, maybe you can hear it. Maybe you can hear it. I don't know. Maybe you could. But here we go. So there's a really, really quick guide. Now, if I wanted to color this second clip and just to make it, a little bit extra, I can go into the color workspace here and I can add some fun, like let's increase the shadows. Let's increase the contrast. Yes. And let's increase the vibrance a little bit. And let's add a little bit of faded film and maybe some sharpening and a vignette. So you can add a white vignette or a dark vignette. So I'll do a darker vignette and I'll feather it a lot. So now I can check what my color correction looks like by going to the on and off switch at the very right of the color menu. So I can check it and see what that looks like. I really like what it's doing there, so I'm going to keep it. Now, you see how at the end of this video, I kind of look off? But the video isn't over yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to insert another cut from this take over here. So let me duplicate this clip. So now that I've applied the color correction and everything to it, it's going to duplicate it along with the color correction. And then I'll expand the second kind of version of it. And let me expand the audio as well. I'll turn off the track so I have a little bit more real estate to work with. And I'll choose another cute, like somewhere here, like kind of where I'm laughing. Okay, so I'll cut there. I'll trim that off, delete it, go to there, trim that, and then I'll just bring this a little bit back so that you can see it goes from that. And then even maybe I could do something like make this shorter, expand this a little bit forward, and zoom it in. So I can go to transform, scale width, and I could zoom it a little bit in. So just to make that cut a little bit different. not exactly a, smash cut like that. I can keep the thumbs up. I like the thumbs up. But not the end of it. Trying to make it perfect. There we go. So there we go. It doesn't matter that the audio is shorter because we can't hear the audio anyway. Perfect. Looks good, right? So let's just say that that was like my final thing that I wanted, but it's not quite finished, right? Because I want to add one more thing, which is, what's the point of this video? Well, the point of this video, let's just say that I, like Jessica or like Michelle, maybe I have like a new makeup tutorial out and I want to talk about this makeup tutorial, and I want this to be a like an ad for my makeup tutorial. So let me add some kind of title on top of it. So I can go to titles and I'll start it like right here. I'll go to titles and I'll go to more titles. And here we have a bunch of pages and pages and pages of pre-built effects that I could use. So let's see what I think is cool. Let's choose one. The great thing about these effects is no matter what size of canvas you have, they are always going to resize for it. I like this ribbon text, so maybe I'll use the ribbon text for this particular one. So let's see what that. It kind of just fades in. No, I don't like that one, so I can always delete it and find a different one. So wherever I put my current time indicator, which is the blue line, that's where the title will start. And of course you can move it around later. You can move anything around later. Nothing is set in stone here. How about we do this one, highlighter pop-up subtitle. Oh, my phone crashed real quick. Let me just get it back. Let me know if you're enjoying this. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat room, because I'm also monitoring that and making sure that you can see me. If you have any questions, if you want the full guide to this, you could always go to adobe.ly/tipstuesday, and there you can grab the guide. So you can learn all about how to do this yourself that I created for you. All right, so we are back. Here we go. We're back. So let's grab that title again. I think it might have been, let's try this one. There we go. And let's see what that looks like. That's really cute. It says less Mondays, more summer. Of course, I want to change it to say what I want it to say. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's make the font size a little bit bigger so that you can see it. Ooh. Okay, double click on it. Select what it says. I'm going to say new video. New video, exclamation mark. And then the text on the bottom, I'm going to double click it. And then it's going to say on my YouTube channel. Great. And then I can go and select, I can either save this template or I could do a bunch of other stuff to it. So let's make it bigger actually. Let's place it where it needs to be. So I'll just select the whole layer and I'll transform it. I'll make it a little bit bigger. I'll move it to the left and I'll move it down. There we go. Move it a little bit this way again. And there we go. Let me just trim the ends here to make it perfectly aligned. And then I'll have my video ready to go for uploading anywhere I want. So new video on my YouTube channel. Let's see what this looks like. Let me make it full screen for you. Okay.
Look at me, I put a face on. Wow! Look at me, I put a show on when I go.
Great. So now it's really easy to put this on my phone. All I do is click up at the top. There is an export button and it says ready to export, quality settings. Automatically, it chooses the size and the dimensions and the frame rate of your sequence, but you can also choose other things. So right now it's fully 4K. It's a little bit too much for Instagram. So I'll go to 1080 match frame rate and then I'll click export. And it just takes a few seconds. It even shows you a little preview of what your video looks like. And you do have to keep the app open while this happens. And it says it's safe to camera roll. You can see you can immediately upload it to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or Behance. And here it is
Wow! Look at me, I put a
in my
show on when
camera roll.
I go.
Cool, right? So let's do something else. Let's do something a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to go back to my home screen. Now, your home screen is where you have all of your videos and you can title them with whatever you want. Right. A lot of mine are untitled because I just, use them really quickly for something and then I don't use them again. But let's make one. Let's make a fashion video or a fashion film. There's a lot of things that we can do. So we're going to go to add media. And what I recommend you do is you put your media in a separate folder. That way you don't have to scroll through your camera roll the whole time. So here in the add media, I made a folder called Dana Fashion. And here's a bunch of fashion clips that I took of my friend Dana in a couture dress on a rooftop. And what's cool here is that before even starting the project, I can already start organizing them and I can already start putting them in order. Now, as you know, on YouTube or other social medias, the first 3 seconds are really key. So you want to have the first 3 seconds, like the most powerful clip, all in the first 3 seconds. And looking at the camera is also a very, very powerful technique. So I know that I want this clip to be first. Because she's looking at the camera, there's a lens flare, it's very powerful. Also, whenever you're putting anything together like a montage, always having people look at the camera and always being in like a medium, which means like, chest up in a medium framing gets boring. So you want to kind of, you want to mix it up. So she's looking at the camera in this one, but then we go to a close-up of her outfit, right? And then we go to a wide of her walking, then a close-up of her walking, then an even closer close-up of her walking. Then we go to the rooftop, then maybe another outfit close-up, and then the other ones don't matter as much. I can put them in whatever order I want to put them in. And we can give our project a name. So I'm going to say Dana Fashion on the roof. And you can also select whether or not you want to sync this with Creative Cloud or not. What's great about Adobe Premiere Rush is that it is cross-platform. So whatever you make on your phone, if you select this Sync with CC button, all of those clips will be put in the cloud and you can go ahead and open it on your iPad or on your computer or anywhere else where you can get Adobe Premiere Rush, which is everywhere. So I'm just going to click Create. And what it's going to do is it's going to prepare that media and it's going to put it in an order, in the same order that I chose when I was picking the clips. So you can see what it looks like right now is that's the first clip of her looking at us. And then we have the clip of her, of the sun breaking through, etc., etc., etc. And this is actually quite a long clip, which is pretty fun. So I like this first clip. And what I like about it is that the sun kind of breaks through. So I want to cut it off before we lose that flare. So I'm going to end it right where the flare ends. And then I'll go to the middle of this clip and I'll go to a spot where we see the flare again. And I'm going to put that cut there. And then this one I could put behind. I can reorder. But now the match is on the flare, right? It's on the movement of the flare. Even though it's going from her face to a close-up of the outfit, you have the same flare there. So the flare starts and then the flare ends. So let's see what that looks like. The flare starts and then there's the flare, right? And then I could do a cut and I can keep going. I can rearrange things. I'm going to delete that. Let's put this there, this there, this there. I can keep going. So let's look for a good spot here. I like that. Cut that, delete the clip in front of it. Keep going. I like that. And I like that. I like where she kind of closes her eyes. So I'm going to do the next cut on her eyes closed. So right where her eyes are closed, I see her eyes close here again. So that's going to be my match cut. It's on her closed eyes. And then she opens them again. And then I'm going to cut there. So you can see kind of how I'm working. Now, another thing that's cool about Adobe Premiere Rush is that you can have multiple layers or multiple tracks. So you can blend things together. You can put clips on top of other clips. So let's do that. Let's actually take this clip here. Let's put it on top of the clip underneath it, because we're going to do like a little bit of a fancy little cutaway. So now that it's on top, we can go to the transform controls. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it. So I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to take the right edge in. I'm going to take the left edge in. I'm going to take the right edge in even more. There we go. I'm going to take the bottom up. Take the top up a little bit, and now I can move the entire thing over to the right. So the whole goal here is I want this to kind of pop up in the negative space to the right of our lower clip. Now, while I'm in the transform menu, I can select the lower clip. I'm still in the transform menu, and I can transform the lower clip as well. So I can change the width, I can move it down, I can move it to the right. So there we go. Let's see what that looks like. So we start with her walking by herself here. Actually, I'll make it a little bit shorter. There we go. So here she is walking by herself. She looks at us. This clip appears. And then we go there. Now, this clip just kind of popped on, right? We want it to appear gradually. So we will select it, go to transitions, and here's a few transitions to choose from. I'm going to choose cross dissolve. And this is going to put a cross dissolve transition both on the front and back end of my clip. And so I can see what it looks like here. So this cross dissolved on. Now I kind of want the cross dissolve to be a little bit longer. So you know what? I'm going to make this clip longer, select just that transition cross dissolve at the bottom. Here's duration, and make it a little bit longer. So it just takes longer to appear. Yes, I like that. And then on the tail end, I'm just going to delete this transition. So it's a hard cut. There we go. Cool. I also, as you can see, I have a lot of slow motion footage here. So for example, let's grab a clip, whatever clip I want to do next. Let's say I want this clip right here. I'll start it there with the lens flare. I'll go ahead and I'll just drag it to where I'm working with it right here. And I want it to start slow, but then I want it to speed up and then end up slow again. And what's great about Rush is that it does have professional speed ramping features. So if you go into speed here, you get these handles, and these handles basically tell you, okay, what section of the clip do you want to change the speed on, and how do you want to change that speed? So for me, I like the beginning to be slow, but I kind of actually, the lighting's changing on her face. So I actually want to start the clip here. So I like this to be slow, but then I want this part to be fast, and then I want it to be slow again, right? So I'm going to cut that off, go back to the clip, go back to speed. So I'm going to choose using the little blue, I don't know what to call them, like endpoints, controllers, brackets at the top. I'm going to select which section of the clip I want to be faster. So just kind of where she crosses through the sun. I want that section to be fast. So I want it to be slow, then I want it to be fast. So now I've selected that section, I can go to range speed and speed that section up. Let's speed it up to, I don't know, 300% sounds good to me. Let's see what that looks like. Yes, except it's a little bit abrupt, right? It goes directly from 100% to 300% and then back to 100%. I want it to be less abrupt. So I will turn on ramping. And that will create, as you can see at the bottom here, that'll create a little ramp that'll change the speed gradually. So it looks something now like this. And then that speed up happens right there, and then it slows down again. So let's say that I have this whole video built out already, and I do actually have it built out already. So let's go to that. Actually, let's go to that on the computer. Let's pop over to the computer because, like I said, if you save it in a CC library, what'll happen is you'll be able to pop right into your desktop and open it right up. So if you go to your desktop, this is Adobe Premiere Rush, and it's open on my desktop, and you can see my projects here, the ones that I have synced anyway. And we have this project here called Dana Fashion 1. I changed it a little bit. So it's telling me that I need some time to open it, which is fine. I did want to show you the project, but it's going to take just a tiny bit of time to load it up on my screen. Come on, please. It's always when you're live that things happen that you don't expect, which is fine. Things always are happening, which is great because I have two devices. So if one device doesn't work, that's fine. I'll open it in a second device. All right, we back to this. So a couple more things I wanted to show you with regards to color correction, with regards to how we do this. So let's open this project up, Dana Fashion. This is the one that I am trying to open on my computer as well, if it ever decides that it wants to cooperate with me. So the other cool thing about Rush, like I said, it's a professional editing program. So it has features like you can create different sequences. So here in my project assets bin, which is the very first button right next to the plus button on the left, I have different sequences that I've created. For example, here I have my sequence that I have added speed to, and this is what the sequence looks like thus far. So actually, let's open that up. Let's open this one up. Okay. Oh, it opened on my computer. Heck yeah. Look at this. Everything's gravy now. Okay. So here I have all of the different sequences, and what I've done is I've created sequences based on the steps of this tutorial. So the first sequence, if I go ahead and open it, this is just the clips laid out in order, right? The second sequence, if I go ahead and open that, this is them laid out and ready for speed controls. The third sequence is where I have now added music and started like a rudimentary color correction. So you can see what it looks like. Now, one fun thing about the color correction, again, the workflow here is very, very similar to what I've just showed you, is you can see the color correction here and you can always turn it off and on to see what you've done. You can always use the presets that are pre-built within Adobe Premiere Rush. There's a bunch. There's cinematic, film, bleach, Fuji, etc. Or you can actually create your own presets as well. And when you create your own presets, you can also save them. So you can apply them either to the rest of the clips in your sequence or to other clips from any project ever that you've ever done or used in Premiere Rush. So here, if I go to none, for example, and then I have a color correction that I've applied on this clip, but it's not on this clip, right? I can go to Edit, Advanced, wait a sec, no, Edit, you can go to the More Options and Create Preset. That's what it is. So you can see what I've done here in the basic is I've added some exposure, I've added some contrast, highlights, shadows. I didn't touch those, but I touched the temperature and tint. I definitely added a bunch of faded film and sharpening. I like to add sharpening when it's going on a online, because sharpening, like a lot of the online compression will actually smooth the video out. So I like to add sharpening. Definitely added a vignette and all that. So now that I have like my perfect look, I can go ahead and go to Create Preset, and then it'll ask me, what do you want this preset to be? And I'll call it Vibrant Reds and Cool Shadows. So something descriptive, something that really tells me later what this is. And I'm going to say Save. So now if I go onto this clip that I want to apply this preset to, and I go to Presets, here under Your Presets, there it is, Vibrant Reds and Cool Shadows. So I can select it, and there we go. Now it's ready to go. So let's say that I have already finished everything. I have my music, I even have graphics on it. So this is kind of what it looks like. Again, this was all done on my phone.
For tonight, just one night, you and I. Only tonight, feels just right.
So I have it in a 16:9 orientation, but if I wanted to change that, the first thing I do, I mean, I could change it right here, but I want to preserve this version of it. So I'll go over here to this sequence that says graphics right here. And here on the More Options tab, or on the More Options button, I will select duplicate. So I'll duplicate this one. And when you duplicate it, it creates a new one right next to it. So now they called it, 03 graphics copy 1. So I can rename it. And it pulled it up right there. So I will rename it 03 graphics square 1 by 1. And I'll rename that. So now I'll go ahead and open. It's open here. You can see the name of it here at the top. It's open. So now that I've created a sequence that I've called square, all I have to do is go over here to the bottom, and there are these orientation buttons right there, or the orientation button. And it'll allow you to choose 16 by 9, which is what we have now, vertical, square, and then this new one, which is in the newest update, they added it. It is the 4 by 5, which is the dimensions for, the optimal dimensions for an Instagram post. But let's just do 1 by 1. So I'll click that, and automatically it has resized my video. There we go. And you can see the graphics were updated too. And this will work, no matter what the graphic is. So it'll always work. And of course, like things like this, I would have to go in and adjust a little bit, like the position of this one, maybe like that, something like that. And then maybe the position of the bottom one a little bit. But for the most part, it does a pretty good job. Maybe reposition that one. So I'll go through, reposition all of them. And then at the end, this is what it'll look like. And I could show it to you full screen.
For tonight, just one night, you and I. Only tonight, feels just right, you are mine. Just tonight, only this time, for you and I.
There we go. So guess what, everybody? You just learned Adobe Premiere Rush in 45 minutes. How do you feel? Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel like you have a new skill? Did you learn something new? I hope you did. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want the full manual for this lesson, you can go to adobe.ly/tipstuesday, and there you will get documentation that I personally wrote about how to use this program. So you'll be able to get this PDF, which will show you everything I just talked about, how to use the professional camera controls, what they all mean, how to import your clips, how to trim and lock and do the audio size, position, volume, even have a bonus page on how to create voiceovers as well, how to color clips, create presets, and all that jazz. So yeah, go ahead and go to adobe.ly/tipstuesday. There you can also enter to win a full year of Creative Cloud, which is incredible, which is a great value. And guess what? There's only like 15 people in the chat right now. So odds are, if you do go there and fill out your information, you're probably going to win. I'm just saying. The odds are very good at this point. So again, go there if you want to rewatch this tutorial or any of the other 11 tutorials that I've done so far. I mean, we've covered everything. We've covered, not everything. There's a lot more to cover, but we've covered like time-saving Premiere Pro tips, After Effects for beginners, intermediate After Effects tips, tips in Adobe Audition, how to edit a podcast, how to like stick things to 3D tracked objects, how to we did so much. We've done so much already, and it's all there at adobe.ly/tipstuesday. So thank you, Light subscriber who said they haven't tried picture-in-picture and speed ramping on the same clip. You're welcome. Thank you to Ingrid, Pete, Nikisha, Megan, everybody in the chat room, Janet. Thank you so much. And have a good rest of your day. I'm going to continue being hype about this new Sony camera. I don't think the hype is ever going to die out, honestly. Until September, until I get it, I'm going to continue being hyped. See you next week, where I will be joined by my friend Mikey from the YouTube channel Glam and Gore, who is a dear friend of mine who I love. So it's going to be a really fun chat. Bye, everybody.